This lighting is terrible. Second, what I'm gonna do?
You want the shade open?
No, just leave this. It's bright enough, and you're on camera. And it's past 10 o'clock. It's past 10 o'clock. Do. My allergies is doing the most today, people. Good morning, everybody coming in. Good morning, everybody coming in. Good morning, brother. Us. It's a great morning. I slept, so it's a great morning. Ooh. Cleaned up the face. I'm not looking like a ragamuffin anymore. Welcome in, Lala. Brother man, good morning.
What's up, Bill?
Man, why do you sound like that?
Like what? Like a man?
No, like you done swallowed Shaq's voice box.
What? Incredible. What I notice is that when I speak slower, I put more bass in my voice. It's not done on purpose. It's actually the velocity of my speaking. So if I start talking a little bit faster, then the volume goes up a little bit.
Fair enough. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in.
How's your mood today?
My mood's great.
What does that mean?
It means I woke up in a great mood.
Okay.
The only thing that bothered my mood this morning is the fact that I woke up and my PS5 controller was dead.
Oh wow! What a catastrophe!
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was a problem. Like seeing that thing blinking like that, I was like, wait, what's going on? I don't like that. But it is what it is. What can you do? What is what is way. But welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Good morning, everybody. I'm just saying, y'all don't even listen. I'm just saying. I got one controller that has a stick drift, so I don't use it. And then the controller that I actually use wasn't charged. Welcome to my life. But today's episode, because we actually still have one more of these to do, but I'm not going to do it next week. We're going to do it in 2 weeks. Can you really break free from chaos? You guys know that we've been on a tangent and on a streak of having the conversation of chaos and understanding where it stems from and kind of the just breaking it down to the molecules, right? All the way down to the molecules. So that way we can have an understanding of chaos. So if you haven't been here for all the episodes that we've done, I will be posting them on YouTube whenever I get the chance to actually edit them to post them on YouTube. But I will be posting them. Just make sure y'all just look out for the clips that we post on here, Instagram, Facebook. If you guys are following me on all social platforms, you will see the clips of each live that we do. I post like at least try to 4 or 5 of them per live from each live. So if you catch them, please like, share, comment, leave your perspective, leave your comments. It pushes us to the algorithm. It pushes us out so people can see people can see it and comment as well. We had a good dialogue on one of my posts earlier this week. So I like the fact that everybody's commenting their perspectives. I appreciate you guys. And if you guys please share out the live to all your friends, to all your people. Bring everybody in here because we need to find out, is it possible to break free from chaos? Can you really break free from chaos? From the chaotic mindset, is it possible to break free? What do you think, bro? Is it possible? Do you think?
Okay. So let's do the pain in the butt thing that I do every week.
Oh boy.
Let's break down break free.
Let's break down break free.
That's the subjective That's the subjective part.
Well, since you brought it up, go ahead. Have fun. Have
No,
at
no,
it.
I'm asking you because you're the one who don't do this. You're the one that brought it up.
No,
We
no,
said
no, no,
break
no.
free.
No. This is your thing. I'm letting you do that. You're not doing that this morning. That's what we're not gonna do. I'm gonna let you have at it. Go ahead. Have fun.
Okay,
That's all.
this is all I'm saying. All I'm saying is that in every sentence or statement that we make or question,
More.
we should be able
I
to
love this
break down
question.
the
It
question,
really
right?
requires a mindset shift. Absolutely, Blacko. Yeah.
How many words were in that statement or that question?
But can you break free from chaos?
Yeah. Can you break free from
Can you
chaos? Right?
can you really break free from chaos? So that's 7.
Okay. So those 7 words, what stood out is I always try to think ahead for people because this is where the disparity comes from. When we speak to people, we can't take it for granted, including myself, that they understand exactly what we're saying. And we gotta look for the words inside of the sentence that's causing the chaos. So something that is not absolute in a person's mind can cause chaos. A disagreement can cause chaos, right? So we need
Okay.
to understand break free. Break free means what? Get rid of it, learn how to deal with it. Remember we talked about that? Face it, run from it, utilize it to our advantage once we understand it. Like what is this break free theory?
So pretty much what he's speaking on is the intentions behind it, guys. So what's
Here
your
we,
intention?
here we go. Here we go.
Like I know what he was doing, but he was not about to have me do it. It's too early in the morning for this shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I know where he was going with it. I just wanted him to kind of do the Hormiga thing like he usually does and break it down. So he's talking about the intentions behind what you're breaking free from, right? Because not all chaos is bad chaos, right? Not all chaos is bad chaos. Even in your healing journey, there's chaos, but that chaos is actually healthy chaos. It's helping you be mindful of the things that you're dealing with. Is making you be aware of what's going on in your process of healing, right? And then there's the intentional chaos, like we spoke about last week. There's the external chaos. There's the inherited chaos. There's many versions of chaos that we deal with or we've dealt with in our everyday. So you have to be mindful. First of all, you got to know which type of chaos you're dealing with, right? Let's start there. So if you were here last week, we spoke about different variations of chaos. Plenty of it. So we talked about the internal chaos, right? We talked about the external chaos. We talked about the intentional, and we talked about the inherited. So I'm not going to really dive into that too much because if you were here, we did a deep dive into that to the point where my brain started to hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you. Mika, welcome in. Thank you for the heart me. If you guys please send the heart me's out. It does pushes us to the FYP if you guys send the heart me's out and keep tapping that screen, keep sharing out the live. I really appreciate you guys. So you got to ask yourself, right? What version of chaos are you dealing with in your everyday that you feel like you need to break free from? Is it intentional? Is it the external? Is it the internal? Or is it the inherited? Right?
Or is it more than one?
It could be more than one. Absolutely. If it's more than one, then at this point, trying to navigate, first of all, if you were here last week, trying to navigate any of these versions of chaos is a lot, right? Especially the external. We had to do 2 separate lives for that. We had to do 2 separate lives for the external alone. So trying to navigate through any versions of those, any version of chaos, right, and having to deal with multiple versions of them at the same time, therapy is necessary. Okay, I am all for therapy, 100%. Because trying to navigate that by yourself, all the variations of chaos by yourself is a lot. Her voice, welcome in. Owl, thank you. I appreciate you. Good morning. Good morning, everybody coming in.
It is a lot. It is a
It's a
lot.
lot,
Again, the more the merrier.
right?
We tell people all the time,
Hey, Mama Nista.
let's fill up our knowledge
I
bank,
appreciate you.
right, as much as we can. But let's be mindful of what we're putting up there. Do you speak one language? Do you understand? Do you understand things in one way? You got it's I keep reiterating the
Oh,
fact.
okay, Coach Mel. Okay, cool, 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 cool. I didn't. I recognized the picture. I just didn't recognize the name.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We keep under and overvaluating things. We're not looking for a common ground within ourselves.
Okay.
So remember we talked about, do you speak one love language? Okay, that's great.
Right.
So then you are narrowing down your capacity or your responsibility because ahead of time you don't want to take accountability, and that's a big red flag. I don't know if you caught that.
Yes, I did. No, I did.
So that's a very big undiscovered red flag in other people. When we're confronted and having a conversation with certain people, what do we say? Let them show you who they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, and we had this conversation yesterday, me and somebody else, there's a difference between behavior, personality, and character. I suggest that people look this up.
No, that's big.
It is huge because
That is
I
huge.
think people need to start looking. I think we're taking it for granted that we think that people know the
Be
difference
careful all the
between
gifts,
that.
guys.
You understand what I'm trying to tell you? And we're going to go into it later because I know you got something. But the reason why I stopped you earlier was so that you could do the recap. And the only way that I know you would do the recap is if I tell you to break down the break free.
So I think one of the things, um, just in regards to just overall what we've been kind of just having the conversation of in regards to this chaotic conversation, like just overall, right? We've been trying to figure out the hidden source of a chaotic mind, right? What causes the chaotic mind? And a lot of times when people have these conversations on TikTok or wherever app they're having the conversation on, they never actually break down what chaos really is, where it stems from, the many variations of chaos. Like there's many variations of it. And when we had the conversation of actually doing this live, I'm like, we need to really have a deep dive because we did the deep dive with the narcissist, right? And we got so much flack for that, so much flack for that. But at the end of us doing that, right, we got so much praise for that after we did it because everybody thought that we were just gonna immediately take the side of the narcissist. That's not what we were doing. We were trying to have people understand that there's layers to the mindset of a narcissist from where it stems from to where they are, right? And everything in between. Chaos is the same thing. It's where it stems from to where you are and everything in between. We can't ignore the in between. We ignore the in between. You know what I'm saying? We always ignore the in between when it comes to certain things. And we can't ignore that fact because the in between has the most information. So when I brought in the different variations of chaos, external, internal, intentional, and inherited, most people didn't even realize that chaos could be inherited. Like, you know what I'm saying? Most people didn't even realize that until we brought it up, and then it clicked in their head that it's very much possible. You know what I'm saying? And when we brought it up and had the conversation of that, then it gave people a different perspective to think about. Some people's chaos is intentional; they cause it for whatever reason they cause it. Right? Their reason is their reason, but we have to be mindful and take accountability for the actions that we choose. Right? We can't control the consequences, but we can control the actions. So if you're a person that intentionally causes chaos, and then the consequences behind that is not what you expected it to be, then you might have to do a shift. Stop causing chaos. If it's not conducive to your life, then what's the point of it? Right? You're not using the chaos for anything positive. You're not using it for healing because the only thing that we need to focus on when it comes to chaos is within ourselves. So that way we can actually grow and be better. But if you're intentionally causing chaos to have control over other people, so that way you're not working on yourself or focusing on yourself, then that's a problem. Then you're doing yourself a disservice. The inherited chaos will be um, family members, environment, right? Things that you are around on a daily basis growing up, even as an adult, like your environment overall, right? Family, friends, work, school, etc., etc. That overall environment can you can inherit certain level of chaos, right? You know what I'm saying? So you can inherit certain levels of chaos just from that alone, right? And not realize that you inherited that. Said I got a flash. Hold on, throw it up there. So you got to be mindful of that. The external chaos is listening to other people's thoughts, processes, and social media and things that are not conducive to you is the external chaos, right? Things that's happening at work, that's none of your business. Things that's happening in your friend's life, that's none of your business. Things that's happening in social media, that's none of your business. If politics bother you to the point where it starts putting an effect on your life, maybe you should stop listening to stuff that's related to politics. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just one of those things. You know what I'm saying?
Say that again. Say that maybe you should.
Stop.
One more time. Maybe you should.
Stop. I think that's the hard part for a lot of people. People don't know where it's just to stop, right? Like I don't know how to stop. I mean, just stop. Like just beat breath. Like we talked about, me and him went live on Facebook, and we were actually speaking about triggers and traumas, and understanding that we all have outlets, right? In regards to how we cope with things and deal with things, right? It is a whole addiction. It really is, and people don't realize it. It's definitely a whole addiction, and it's actually really scary on how much influence chaos can have on your life. But we were speaking on outlets and utilizing your outlets, whether it's good or bad. Daddy, is that a symptom of inherited chaos in regards to what, Amamanista? I'm gonna need more detail on that. Jane, welcome in. So we were speaking on outlets and how the outlets that I used to use to escape, I started using it to help me heal. Right? I made it intentional to switch the what my we're not even gonna talk about that. We're gonna leave that alone. She said, not surprised that he has a disco ball in there. But when you're talking about the outlets that you utilize, spending too much time on things like politics, I don't think it's inherited. I think it's intentional. That's intentional. When you're doing or involving yourself in too much of something, that's intentional. That's an intentional thing. You're intentionally being involved into. You want me to rewind that? When you're involved into something too much, that's intentional.
Stop. Now we're using two things. You said stop, right? So we're going to stop right there for a second. What is my definition of balance?
What is the balance?
My definition,
Overall.
when balance is when you understand when anything is too much,
Right.
or when there's not enough.
Enough. Right. Right.
Somewhere in between, too much and not enough equals balance. It's mathematically impossible for anyone to disagree with that. You're not disagreeing with me. That's not my philosophy.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Right.
you can disagree with me all you want, but at least hear the message. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense.
Too much of anything means that you're doing it on purpose.
Even too much of anything positive is not good for you. How crazy does that sound?
Yeah, but you could also be holding back. You could also be holding back the same effort it takes to keep going when it's not necessary, to go through things that you shouldn't go through. It's the same amount of effort to resist yourself by putting yourself in something positive or something that's conducive.
Right.
That's what balance. It's the same amount of energy.
Right. It does. It does take the same amount of energy. But, right, I'm not even, there is no but to it, but there is no but. So I want to say in regards to that, right, there's another thing that we had to add to that, right? When it comes to the positive, there is too much of positivity, and then when there's negative, it's too much of negativity. But the thing is, the positivity doesn't have the same effects that the negativity has. That's the key. Okay? Yes, there is something called too much positivity. because then you're ignoring the negativity and the chaos that's happening around you. You're completely ignoring everything else around you, and
Too
that's not
much.
balance.
That's unbalanced.
That's very unbalanced. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about the concept of balance, you got to think about both sides: the chaos, the positivity, the negativity, the balance. You know, the positive. You got to think about both sides, right? How much of it have you experienced on both sides in order to have balance? I told you guys this before. Before I started healing, my life was just nothing but chaos, right? It was chaotic overall. So I didn't have to experience chaos once I started my healing journey because I already knew what it was. I knew what it looked like. So now I was looking for the opposite. I was looking for the positivity. I was looking for all the good. When I actually figured out the good and found the good, now I have a balance to things because I already know what the chaos looks like. I know what the negativity looks like. So now there's a balance to it. Now I have to choose which part of the balance, which side of the balance I want to be on. Am I gonna teeter totter, or am I gonna stay planted in the middle? But that takes time. That takes skill. That takes effort.
And sitting on the fence does not mean that you're grounded or you're in balance. Sitting on the fence means that you refuse to make a decision. That's called freeze. Sometimes it's good not to do anything. We've had that discussion, right?
We've had that conversation.
Sometimes doing nothing because
It's
you're
actually
waiting for something else, or because right now this is way too confusing for you to do anything. You have to be in the process of obtaining some type of clarity during that moment. Otherwise, you never make a decision.
right.
So
I'm gonna ask everybody this question, right? We got 13 people in here, and everybody has something that they're doing that they feel like they need to work on or they need to improve. We all do, right? Or we wouldn't be on this journey of healing. We wouldn't be on this journey of trying to be better. If y'all agree with me, put a 1 in the chat in regards to that. Before I ask you that question, if you feel like you have nothing else to work on, then there's no reason for you to be here. I'm just being honest with you. If you feel like you have nothing else to work on, then there's no reason for you to be here. Because here we're always constantly growing. Here we are forever students. Me, you, Ormiga, we're all here forever students at the end of the day, right? So if you feel like you don't feel like you have anything to work on, just hit that X button. Just go about your merry way. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Then you don't need to be here because we're always trying to be better. You know what I'm saying? So the question I have for you guys, right? What cycle are you tired of repeating, and what would freedom from it look like? You like that, right? You like that? You see how fast he turned around? I got you. I'm gonna repeat it. What cycle are you tired of repeating? What cycle are you tired of repeating? And what would freedom from it look like?
You want me to answer that? Because that means
I want
that
everybody to answer that. I'll answer it myself.
I would have to be extremely vulnerable, and it'll only take 30 seconds if you want to hear it.
Go for it. I mean, if you feel like you got it on your head right now.
Yeah, because I just
whole dissertation.
no. I just snapped out of it.
Let's talk about it.
I am an emotional eater.
Yeah, we had that conversation.
I'm an emotional eater, so to avoid emotions, sometimes I eat. When emotions are heightened, I eat. Anytime that emotions are present, and it doesn't necessarily mean negative emotions, it could be positive emotions. Mm-hmm. Remember what we said, too much of anything is too much. Not enough of something is not enough. It makes things unbalanced, uneasy, creates stress, it creates a feeling of uneasiness.
Fair.
So I realize why I can't break the cycle, the habit, the generational curse, or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. And it's part belief system and part what I'm putting inside my body.
Okay.
So I'm at the point right now where when I become emotional, I laugh at it. I don't run to Wendy's. I don't run to get a snack. I don't run to get chips. I don't run to get this, the very thing that they're really hurting us with. So that's my vulnerability moment for today.
So I'm gonna answer everybody's question in here, right? And before I answer everybody's comments, just know I am not judging you. This is not an attack. If it sounds like an attack, right, it's because you have something to work on. Period, point blank. I'm not going into it. I'm not going to explain further than that. It's just, it is what it is, right? So let's see, who's the first person that put something in here? I think it was Mama Nista. She said, giving others more grace than I give myself. I think we've all been there. We've all been there, right? It's harder to give yourself grace and give yourself that pep talk when it's just you having a conversation with you, because that means you have to literally sit there and think about the things that you have to work on. Anybody that tells you that is an easy thing to do is lying to you. 100%. There's nothing easy about sitting there and thinking about the things that you actually have to work on and being able to be transparent with yourself on the things that you have to work on, right? Because once you open up that door, you have to either choose to work on it, and when you're choosing to work on it, know your capacity of what it is that you're working on to be able to give yourself grace. You can't just give yourself grace if you don't know what you're supposed to be working on, right? Giving other people grace is easier because you're hearing their story. They're vocalizing it to you. They're comfortable enough to have that conversation with you. So you know what's going on with them, and you know what they need to do to kind of work on themselves. But if they're not willing to take that information, then instead of just giving them the knowledge that they need, you're just giving them grace. If that makes sense.
If you are competitive by nature, when somebody talks to you about their accomplishments, it's going to bring a slight envy. It's going to bring a slight jealous. We have to be aware that of our personality. If our personality is competitive and we hear somebody else succeeding or ahead of us, it does the opposite effect. When we give them grace and we don't give ourselves grace at the right time, for the right reason.
So Coach said standing on the word no. And this may sound simple, but it really isn't. Okay.
One of the hardest things to do is to do that.
It may sound simple, people, but it really isn't. But I'm gonna make it sound simple. And then you're gonna be like, what the fuck? No is a complete sentence. You see how I just did that? No is a complete sentence.
A one-word sentence.
You don't gotta fucking explain it. You ain't gotta give them no reason why. You ain't gotta give them no dissertation why. You ain't gotta give them nothing. Simple. No. Carry on. You just go about your business.
Next.
Yeah, that's it. Just walk away. Don't explain yourself. Nothing. It's just no. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's really that simple. It's just like no. The moment that you explain yourself after your no, then you didn't really mean that no. You didn't really mean it. You didn't mean it. If you have to over-explain your no, you didn't mean it. And you lack boundaries. Because no is a boundary. Not only is it a complete sentence, it's also a boundary. And everybody overall has that boundary, right? The word no is a universal boundary overall. Can we agree on that? If you agree with no being a universal boundary for everybody that's in their process of healing, put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like I feel like it's an overall boundary for everybody. I feel like it should be.
Let me give him a little side piece right here.
Let me give you a side piece. In my experience, the amount of people that I have spoken to, I can tell at what level of no you're into. I can tell if you just started saying no, if you've been saying no for a long time, if you've never said no, and in what process you are. And if I can tell where you at with your no, there's many people that will be able to pick up on that and try to mock you and test you. That's just a little side note. Carry on, sir.
So I'm gonna add more to that, right? And this is gonna sound crazy, right? This is gonna sound crazy, but your body language will snitch on you every time.
Oh man.
If a person could read body language, they could read your behavior. Your body language will snitch on you every time when you say the word no.
Your eyes, your eyebrows, your nose, all your senses, the way you move your hands, the way you fidget your feet, the way you move your knees, the way you stand, the way you speak, your tone, all of that stuff is evident to a person who has been trained to look for those things. So you're not fooling anybody.
Now, for example, I'll give you an example. Let's say me and Coach is having a conversation, right? Me and Mel's having a conversation. And she asked me if I can do something for her. And I was like, no. And then I did this. But every time I say no, I do this. That means I don't really believe my no. I'm really struggling with it, right? Because every time I say no, I scratch my neck. Or every time I say no, I look down. Or every time I say no, I can't look her dead in her eye and say no. Right? Exactly. So what I'm telling you, your body language, your behavior, all of it will snitch on you in real time. If a person can catch on to that, be very careful. Be very careful. If you are a person that's trying to utilize the power of no, be sure that you're standing on that. Be sure that you're standing on that, because that's deep. And we had a big one in here too. Lala said, being too empathetic, meaning to others more than myself. Now I'm trying to balance that. So I don't think being empathetic is ever an issue, right? I don't think that empathy is the issue, right? I think it's who you're being empathetic to is the issue.
What you're being empathetic for.
Right.
Who you're being empathetic to. When you're being empathetic. The who, what, where, when basic assessment of life that we keep picking and choosing. Why just pick one? The what, the why. All of it is important.
It's all of it.
But why not in the right order? Before you start going further in life, why don't you understand what life is?
Right. Right. It's all of it overall. Like if you're like, for example, I'll give you a great example. And this is one that we overlook. And I feel like everybody has done this. You ready? Who here has a friendship that's longevity? That has a real longevity friendship? I know I do. 17 plus years I've known somebody I've known them forever. My other longest friendship so far is 7+ years. You know what I'm saying? How many times have we ignored certain things that they've done? Or when they come to us with a problem and we're empathetic of those problems, but they come to us with the same problem, no resolve, no result, no solution. You've given them the solution, right? The first time you had the conversation, it was like, all right, I'm going to try that. Then they come back with the same issue. But and then you're empathetic second time around. You give them another way to kind of elevate that or figure that out. Then they come back a third time with the same exact problem. Instead of being like, all right, I'm not having this conversation with you anymore because my level of empathy for this particular conversation is done. Because it's not clicking. Like, it's not clicking. I'm giving you what I can give you to try to assist that, but you're not catching on to this.
You see what he said? He said empathy for that particular situation doesn't mean that you get to turn off your empathy completely. That means that you no longer have battery or energy or any type of interest in that direction.
Being empathetic takes energy. Let's put that, let's just open that door real quick since we're on the topic, right? Being empathetic has energy. If you are an empathetic individual, you need to know your capacity. It's not the balance. It has nothing to do with balance. It's the capacity of how much empathy you are providing a situation. It's not even the individual. It's the situation. Because we show more empathy to a situation than we do the individual. We do. Because it's easy for somebody to not show somebody empathy. But if it's a particular situation, especially if it's a situation that we've dealt with, that we have traumas and triggers towards, you're gonna immediately show that thing empathy. Immediately. If it's something that you dealt with, if something that you've experienced, the empathy towards that is gonna be immediate. It's gonna be immediate, right? But let's say that it's something that you're empathetic towards, but you actually worked on it. And then you see this person continuing to do it. My boy Arrow, what's going on, brother? You know what I'm saying? Now you have the tools because you worked on this thing, right? Now you're seeing patterns that you used to do in this person. And you're trying to give them guidance on how to deal with this, try to handle it, but they're not taking in what you're trying to provide. How much empathy are you willing to show this person into this particular situation? You've already worked on this. This is no longer a part of your everyday. Yes, it's still a part of you because it's something that happened to you. It's a part of your experience. You know what I'm saying? But it's not your everyday. Right now, with what they're dealing with is their everyday. This is their everyday. You've already worked on this. Your brain is not wired to keep showing empathy towards something that you worked on. It's not gonna happen. At some point in time, you're gonna snap on this person if you don't put yourself in a space where you're just like, all right, I'm not dealing with this no more. I can't. If you're not gonna communicate that you have no energy left, you're gonna end up snapping on either on them or the wrong person.
And not necessarily snap. The opposite would be also shut down.
True.
Snap is one of three reactions that's a little over pew pew, right? It's a little over that. You like that? So
Yeah, that's smooth.
yeah, well, I'm being nice. I haven't cursed not once either. So
I'm proud of you.
here's the thing. Deciding to do things is only difficult to those that overthink it.
Mm-hmm.
Some things you just have to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got to decide, and we talked about this 4 years ago, are you a noun that you want to be called something, or are you going to take the action of a verb and put these things that we are sharing, not just us, not just me and him, people in the chat, it's lit. There's people having great conversations down there. I'm watching this. So
Me too.
get it from different sources, right? And then evaluate it. How could you have balance if you don't have parameters or you don't have a criteria? If a balance is the in between something, then you need this and you need that. You need two things so that balance can fall in between. So you will never have balance if you don't look at the other side, if you don't experience something else outside of your comfort zone. Doesn't this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
We have to push.
So Angie, I'm gonna go to yours now. So, like I said to everybody here, when we're having these conversations, I want you guys to be mindful. If my tone changes, if I get loud, it's not because I'm angry at you. It's not anything like that. It's just I'm passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about helping people. So she says, telling my story and thinking it's helping people and then makes people judge me and makes me react because I am not that person. You said 3 different things just now, right? You said telling my story, right? And then you said helping people. And then you said makes people judge me. One of the things that when it comes to our journey, it comes to our healing journey, we lack the skill and the ability to generalize things, right? When we're telling our story on something that we've struggled and things that we've worked on or something that helped us grow, depending on the person that you're telling this story to, they may either see it as a redemption story or they see it as you acting like a victim. It can be one of the two, right? To you, you don't feel like you're acting like a victim. To them, it could be one or the other, right? We have to when we're speaking on our journey, try to generalize it versus making it about what you dealt with, right? The reason why when we have conversations on here, I generalize it is so everybody can relate to it. If I just say me, in every conversation that I have, in every word that I say, people can be like, "This motherfucker, why the fuck he always talking about himself? What is he, a victim? Is he not healed from the stuff that he's dealt with? It makes it seem like I'm not healed, even though I know I'm working on things, and even though I'm better at the things that I'm done, right? Me not generalizing it makes it seem like I still got work to do. So kind of try to generalize it when you're talking about certain things or speaking on your story. Try to make it more general so everybody can relate to it, right? Even if they can't relate to it. So what? It's generalized. So everybody can kind of put their input on it. When it's just towards you, it's kind of hard to navigate that if they're not like a coach or a therapist, right? You got to be mindful of just the wording. That's all it is, right? Secondly, in regards to it makes people judge me, and then you said it makes me react. First of all, nobody can make you do anything. Let's put that out there, right? I'm just gonna be honest. There's not a person on this earth that can make you do anything. If you react, that was a choice. You said choice in the chat too, so I caught that. If you react, that's a choice. I didn't see the comments coming in, guys. I'll go back and read the comments after. But if you react, that's a choice. Nobody can make you do anything you don't want to do, right? If you're on this process of healing, in the process of this journey, then you have to be aware of what causes you triggers. If you feel like people are saying things that sound like judgment or feel like judgment, then remove yourself, right? You don't have to vocalize it. You don't have to say anything about it. Sometimes saying quiet about it is the best decision. Just move out the way, right? And just go about your business. I've had to do it plenty of times. So that's the only reason why I'm telling you this. I've done it more times than I can count. I just move out the way. If I feel like I'm being judged about something and I'm not in the space where I can take in the criticism, right? Because criticism is always depending on their energy and the way that they are putting it out there. It might be productive, but because we're not in the space to take that criticism, we look at it as judgment. Right? Being able to take constructive criticism is a skill, and it's a difficult skill to take in when you're in your process of healing. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of just think about it that way.
And constructive criticism is controlled by the person who's receiving it. If you consider every criticism constructive, even the worst or the harshest or the most triggering, then now we're on to something. Because we're supposed to
and coach that too. If they're judging, it is a reflection on them. But it may not even be them judging though, because
right.
So you got to think about it too.
Not always judgment.
It's not always judgment, right? Some people, the way that they communicate and the way that they vocalize and the way that they talk, it may come off as judgment, but it's really not judgment, right? We can't immediately think as judgment because that's something that we've always experienced, right? One of the things that we struggle with overall as humans is when we're dealing with constant judgment in our everyday, right? Whether it's in our childhood, in our young adult, in our adult stages, if judgment was always a part of your life, if it doesn't sound right to you, it's gonna be judgment no matter what. It's gonna sound like judgment to you because of that's just the way your brain is wired. Right? You have to rewire your thought process of what judgment is so that way it doesn't look like judgment every time somebody says something or every time it doesn't sound right to you. Not everything I hear sounds right to me. Don't get it twisted. It sounds a little off and I'll think about it and I'll be like, maybe they didn't mean it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be aware of these things, right? It's just using your conscious mind to think about certain ways. In different ways, you gotta You got to open up all avenues of what it could be, right? Don't just immediately jump to one thing and then stick to that one thing. Because sometimes sticking to that one thing is a trauma response. It's a trigger, right? We usually we run straight to our triggers and traumas when something looks like what it is and it really isn't. And that's the hardest thing. That's difficult.
When I feel, listen, we talked about friends, right? I got a group of friends, about 5 or 6 of us. We know each other for over 40 years. And we went through ups and downs. We went through changes, divorces, job changes, a whole bunch of different things, right?
Right.
A lot of trial and error. And whenever I feel as though I'm being picked on or I'm the center of attention, I never really realized how many times I brought that attention to myself. When I became the focal point of something, and then I didn't expect it to go that way because I spoke at the wrong time and I don't learn how to fly under the radar.
If something's happening too many times, and your reaction is the same to every single situation, it's not the situation that's the problem.
No, it's the way you have a disparity between responding and reacting. Reacting is a bit much more energy than responding. Responding requires 2 or 3 seconds before you open your mouth. The same thing with your thoughts. If you can't control your mouth, that means that you can't control your thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Like you literally created the dissertation in your head before you even.
Not always, but I'm talking about me now. See, now watch how it hit home for certain people, and then they will take that and say, "You're talking about me." It's up to you whether I'm talking to you or not. I'm talking about me.
That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm trying to make.
That's up to you how you receive things, because anytime that somebody says something weird or like I feel like I'm being attacked, I'm funny with it. I'll say, "That's a good one. That's a good one. You got any more?"
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. It can come off as that, but that's not what it really is. What's going on, Diggs? You know what I'm saying? I wanna go into a couple things, right? Now that we're able to answer everybody's questions in the chat. I want to give you guys a couple of tools, right? Just a couple of tools, not too many, because I always want you guys to do your own research, right? I'm big on you guys doing your own research because I don't want you guys to take anything that I say as law, right? I do my research, yes. It is information that you can actually research for yourself, so that way you can get your own perspective on it.
Where do you think we got it from?
Right. So one of the things I want to give you guys is practical tools to unlearning dysfunction, right? Replacing coping mechanisms to actually fuel anger, avoidance, or codependency. So I'm going to give you guys the definition of each word, just for shits and gigs, right? Give me 1 second. I'm going to go get those. Define. Okay, so in regards to anger, right? Anger is an intense emotional response to perceive a threat, injustice, frustration, or violation of personal boundaries. It's a natural human emotion that signals when something feels unfair, unsafe, or unacceptable. I'm giving you guys the definition of each word for a reason.
Rewind that real quick.
Hold on. Yeah, I got you right now. So the definition of anger, right? So first of all, words matter. Let's put that out there. Definitions matter, words matter. If we're gonna be dealing with something and trying to really elevate to be better, we need to not ignore the definition of things, right? Definitions matter. Then you can create your own thought process on it after you know what the definition is. That's the whole point. This is the whole point of this little thing that I'm doing right now. So I want you guys to just be open-minded. That's all. Be open-minded to what I'm doing. So avoidance is a conscious or unconscious act of steering away from situations, thoughts, or feelings, or responsibilities that feel uncomfortable, threatening, or overwhelming. It's a coping mechanism the mind uses to reduce immediate stress or fear, but over time often keeps you stuck instead of helping you heal. I know. Do you want me to repeat that?
Slowly.
Okay. If you guys caught any of that in the chat,
There's a lot in there.
if you guys caught any of that in the chat, just give your honest reaction on that. Ruby, welcome in. Give your honest reaction to that if you guys caught any of that. I will repeat it for you guys slowly so you guys can really take it in. Okay? That's why I say definitions matter, because you have to be mindful of the things that you are doing. Avoidance is a conscious or unconscious act of steering away from situations, thoughts, feelings, or responsibilities that feel uncomfortable, threatening, or overwhelming. It's a coping mechanism the mind uses to reduce immediate stress, fear, but over time often keeps you stuck instead of helping you heal.
And it makes me think of a lot of the different conversations we had about procrastination. It makes me but that what you just described is the opposite of accountability.
Period. That's it. That's
The opposite of accountability. Accountability is
that's it. That's it. Right there. We don't even need to go further than that. That's it. That's pretty much what it was. The complete opposite of what accountability looks like. Complete opposite. Complete opposite. Now we got a real strong one right here. Avoidance was really strong, but codependency.
what's that? Two narcissists?
Codependency is an unhealthy relationship pattern where one person's sense of identity, self-worth, or emotional stability becomes overly tied to meeting the needs, approval, or control of another person. It often shows up as losing yourself while trying to save, fix, or please others.
That's so much. Why would you put yourself in that pickle? You just said so much. Like that sounds chaotic.
And the reason why I wanted to read you guys the definitions, not only for you guys to be very mindful of what this shit sounds like. It sounds fucking ridiculous now that I put the definition out there, right? Because we hear a lot of buzzwords: codependency, avoidance, accountability, narcissism, chaos. We hear all these buzzwords, right, on TikTok and on social media, but nobody ever gives you the definition of this shit. They never give you the definition of it. They never give you the understanding of it, where it stems from, what the origin is. They don't give you none of it. They just use the word and they don't give nothing behind it.
Now watch this. If this was an open panel,
Hey!
if this was an open panel in the wrong situation, somebody by now would have said, well, my definition of this is...
I don't care what your definition is.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't care what your definition is. Facts are facts.
The definition.
Duh, not yours. I don't go, like, what are we doing?
Whenever I tell someone, and I always emphasize my definition of something,
facts.
You don't have to agree with me. I'm telling you ahead of time that this is the conclusion that I've come to.
But the thing is, right? When people give their opinions on what something sounds like, is what something is, they never agree with the definition itself.
No, there's something in the definition or a word that they should take out, remove, or add.
You know what I'm saying? I get it. But most times they try to... You can't debate facts. Facts are facts. Just like you can't debate the truth. It's hard to debate something that's true. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't debate something that's just there.
No. You can't debate something. Listen, it's not hard. The hard part is understanding that you can't accept the fact that ob- objective reasoning is not arguable. There is no argument. There is no opinion. Opinion is for subjectivity. It is not
Right.
objective. Objective is unarguable. You cannot argue, but people still want to argue the facts because they have an opinion about it. He said it. Stop talking
And listen.
and listen. Because if you listen and you don't have to talk, you just saved half your energy. You know how much energy it takes to talk? I should know. I talk a lot.
You know the people that I love the most, and y'all gonna laugh about this. It's people that overly explain themselves
It's
and,
hilarious.
and then be like, all right, I'm done. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hold the fuck up. Like, wait, you didn't just do that. Like,
Wait. Are you talking about people that put a hole in your ear and then
That shit-
and then disappear before you could answer?
that shit's a pet peeve of mine. People, okay? This is not the coach talking, okay? This is Emmanuel from fucking Brooklyn, New York talking. This shit is a absolute pet peeve of mine. I cannot stand it. It makes my skin crawl. Okay? It makes my skin crawl when people do that. Because you did not just dump all. First of all, I'm an empath. So you dumping all that shit on me, and then I have to deal with your emotions with no resolve. I'm blocking you. 100%. You're getting blocked. I'm not giving you no warning. You are getting blocked immediately. Because there's no way in hell. There's no, like, you're not doing that. You're not doing it. It sounds ridiculous, right? It sounds ridiculous. You did not just give me a dissertation and then be like, okay, bye. Have a good day. The fuck? You're not doing it. I'm sorry. It's not happening. Yes, I just crashed out for a moment, but I'm just telling you, we're not doing that. I hate it with a passion. That is the most unhealthy way of communication that I've ever met in a human being. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Because it literally makes me want to fight you. Like, it really does. It makes me want to fight you. Because there's no way that you thought that was a productive way to let that off and then just leave me with your shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, the other day I went to Chattanooga and you don't even know what happened. But look, the other day, oh shit, I gotta go.
You're getting blocked immediately. There's no way around it.
You're getting blocked.
You're not. There's nowhere. I'm not giving you an opportunity to do that shit a second time.
We got. You see, here's what I'm trying to tell you. One of the things that I look for in a person, right, in a character, even people that I don't meet, is the ability to catch themselves when they're being too much. You know, like when if people tell you you're doing the most, because that's the new way of saying it, right? You're doing the most. If people are saying you're doing the most right now, you should at least take that second or two to evaluate if it's true.
Facts, babe.
Right? You're doing the most. Do we stop? No. Immediate reaction. What do you mean I'm doing the most?
You're welcome, I'm in this too.
You know, offensive. You get offended quickly. And you know how someone can tell when you're offended or somebody triggered you? It's the amount of time it takes you to respond. If it's too fast, it's a reaction. It is not a response.
Listen, I just triggered myself even mentioning that shit. Like, you know, I just triggered myself in real time in front of 11 people. You're welcome. Like,
I'm good with it. If that's your crash out,
that's my crash out. That's my crash out for the day.
if that's your crash out, that sounds like every other day to me. Every 3 days you go through something like that. So we good.
Oh man.
I mean, do I crash out once in a while?
I mean, we all have our crash out moments.
But do I crash out?
Yeah.
See, everybody in this chat has. I mean, according to
Morning, Ashley.
Has anybody ever looked up? Can you look that up real quick? Crash out, please, because I'm sure that there's already a urban definition of it.
The urban definition of crash it out.
Yeah. And read it the way they because this is how fast AI is. We're running out of words to invent. Instead of learning how to speak, people invent words. I love it.
Oh, that shit's fucking.
I love it how you put so much energy into being an original creator instead of being how to learn how to crawl first before you walk. That's wild.
Just know when you come in here, you never know what you're gonna get. You never know what you're gonna get. Anybody that's been here for the last 5 years know you never know what you're gonna get when you come in here.
Look, I'm doing an experiment, right? I'm not just bringing you into my little cozy area, right? You know, I'm doing an experiment right now, and I'm showing people something. I could not continue to have my place disorganized because it was putting a toll in my ability to think straight and logically.
Right.
My place was not. So all my spiritual brothers and sisters, all my energy people, and you know who you are, it's time for you to wake up.
Oh, you good, bro. You good, bro.
You understand? Like this right now, I couldn't go any further having my place disorganized. So you watch me moving back and forth. I'm also gaining the momentum and the energy to be on this because it takes energy to be here for a couple of hours, man, nonstop talking about things that we go through. So, I mean, we're not talking about things that we're not pointing fingers and saying that you guys have done it and done it alone. We've been through this stuff.
So I got the definition for you. You ready?
Come on, please.
So the urban definition to crash out.
Yeah, because I did this already.
Means to act recklessly or impulsively, often in a way that leads to self-destruction or unnecessary trouble. It's when someone let anger, pride, or emotions override logic, basically wilding out with no thought of consequences. Yo, the last part took me out. It said basically wilding out with no thoughts of consequences.
Can we talk about that all the time?
That is what you call an emotional person. Wilding out. Somebody call Nick Cannon to the stage, please.
What have we been talking about for the last 5 years?
Emotions. Wildin'.
Listen, and we get it. Sometimes our emotions get the best of us, but if we notice in advance that our emotions are tricky and they become overwhelming, why not look for ways to tame them, avoid them, place them where they need to be? Because you can't go your whole life, without having emotions, but there has to be a time during the day or during certain situations where you can regulate them or turn them off. When we say get rid of your emotions,
welcome in, guys. Welcome in. I see Black.
Am I right or wrong? Are we saying to people that they should get rid of their emotions forever, or they should just stop it while they're working on themselves?
I need them to have a control over their emotions. I need them to be aware of the damage emotions are doing to them in the process of them healing. We're not telling you to remove your emotions overall. That's impossible. You're human. Be mindful of how much you're using your emotions to make decisions.
Should never make a decision emotional.
When you're using your conscious mind, you cannot be using it with emotions. It's impossible. There's probably a small inclination of emotion in there, maybe a smidget, but most conscious decisions are logic. If you're making a conscious decision, then you're logically making that decision. You're logically thinking about it. Because I've heard people say that they made conscious decisions based off their emotions. How? I would love to know how both of those even correlate. How did you make a conscious decision with your emotions? I would love somebody to explain that to me.
I thought I was doing that because I used to use anger for everything. But then when I got rid of the anger, I didn't have no more motivation. I didn't have any more fuel. I didn't have any more desire in the same way. Does that make sense?
No, that makes perfect sense.
And by the way,
I would love somebody
Can I try to explain that from
I was eating a grapefruit.
a devil's advocate point of view?
No, no way you can play devil's advocate. Go ahead, baby.
And I usually don't play devil's advocate because I don't like that shit because I feel like it's a power struggle type thing. The only way that I can see that somebody can, what was the phrase, the exact phrase that you used, because I want a
make a
wordplay,
conscious decision using their emotions.
using their emotions. See, that might pew pew my devil's advocate. Making a conscious decision based off emotions, for me, being a woman, and I'm not just saying this happens to women, but I can understand if people are feel a certain way over and over and over again, they make a conscious decision to get away from something that makes them feel that way. So that's the only way that I can understand it. But you're saying using emotions, so it could be completely thrown off.
But in that aspect, they're thinking logically.
They are thinking logically, but they understood that their emotions were not, they weren't the healthiest emotions for a long time. So logically, they made that go somewhere else. And like I said, you saying the word using
That's what I'm
kind of
saying.
changed up my argument. Yeah.
It's
No, I
impossible.
get it. I was coming from a different perspective, but then I heard you say it again, and my mind kind of just did the whole rewind thing. But you can understand how people can feel a certain way
I know
with
where
their
you came from.
emotions.
I know where you were coming
Right.
from. I know
People
where you
can
were coming
feel a
from.
certain way with their emotions and then use logic to get away from someone that makes them feel that way.
Yeah, but when they're doing that, they're not using their conscious mind. When they're using their feelings, their conscious mind is not active. They're not using their conscious mind in regards to their feelings. The moment that they start
Right.
using, the moment that they start using, the moment that they realize that it's not doing them a service, they're logically thinking of a way to get away from that particular situation.
My whole thing is they use the logic of cause and effect. Well, this person constantly puts me in a place where I feel these certain emotions. So maybe it's best that I just don't surround myself with those type of people anymore. And that's somewhat logical.
Have you ever, and this is rhetorical,
Seeing the wolf cry to the blue horn moon.
no,
Go ahead.
no, no, watch this. Have you ever spoke to someone where they ask you a question to be, and then it needs vulnerability in order to answer the question, and when you answer the question, they'll take your answer and make it about themselves.
Constantly.
Okay, so that's just one
I
scenario.
hate it here. I hate it here.
Hey, that's just one scenario, and I'm not gonna say it's hypothetical because it's extremely real.
It's not
But here's
hypothetical
the
at all. I
question,
see
sis.
it on a daily basis.
But here's the real question. Watch this. You ready? Ready? Breathe. Here's the. Which one are you?
Are you asking me personally, or are you asking the people in the chat? And
In, in
I'm not
general.
trying to make it about me and asking you that.
No, in general, because you're an intelligent person, and that one word and what he said
Sometimes.
made the difference in your response to what he was saying.
I don't like this. I don't like this conversation.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, listen, I've been both. I've been both. I've been the
I've
one.
been both. I've been both too. That's why I'm saying I don't like
That's
this.
the answer. The answer is that you can't understand it unless you've been both. But if you're the person that sets people up only, and you're not the one that you don't know what a one night stand feels like until it happens to you. How about that?
Until there's $40 on the dresser and then Uber on the way.
You understand? So that's leaving somebody at the altar. That's trying to poke the bear. The same person is the person that wants to show that you're not healed by triggering you on purpose in public to show people that you're not healed. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, oh guys, it's time to go now. I appreciate you guys being here. I think I've triggered myself enough today.
Look at the
Like,
time. It was 11-11. 1-1-1-1.
everybody make a wish it was 11-11, guys. Coach Derek in the building.
But that's the thing, Pop. We keep trying to tell people that if you want to find balance in life, right? The only way to the other side is to have empathy. And it's not necessarily to have empathy towards the person. You can have empathy towards the situation as well, so you can learn. Stop directing the empathy towards the person only. Spread the empathy to the point where you can learn something from it. Because then it becomes linear and not expandable. It's exponentially linear. So you have empathy towards the situation so that the next time this happens, you know better. Oh, you're trying to trick me into a conversation so you could take over and then attack me.
That's chaos within itself, people.
Are you serious?
That's chaos within itself.
I think
We've seen this. We've seen this on a live.
Have even more control to not even point out to the fact to the person that you know they're trying to do that to you. Just stop talking altogether. Don't even give them the satisfaction to let them think that they have that type of power over you. Because they'll continue to do it. That's their entitlement that makes them do that.
But we have to recognize it, right? We have to work on identifying it, right? We have to be able to recognize it faster, right?
That does take time.
It's a skill.
Because you know what it is though. Because if that was the case, right? If that was the case, then a lot of people wouldn't date narcissists. If they'll be able to be aware to certain things like that, they wouldn't be with narcissists for years and years on end. If they were able.
So, Mama Nisa, I saw that you said you're lost, and I'll kind of sum it up in a way that I think is best palatable. You have the control to not let people let you to not let people push you to step out of your square. Also, you have the power to not even let them know that they're doing what they're doing to push you to that point. So there's the first point of being able to control yourself, to not step out of your square, and then there's the extra step of control to not let them know that that's what they're trying to do to you. Does that make sense?
And those are different levels. Yeah.
So it's pretty much boundaries versus always fighting a battle. That's pretty much what it is. It's your boundaries versus you always fighting a battle. You don't always have to be in a fight. You don't always have to be in a battle. You don't always have to prove yourself to somebody. You don't have to engage in the conversation. If you see something that doesn't look right to you, you have the choice to move the absolute fuck out the way.
That ludicrous at that move. Get out.
You know what I'm saying? You have the opportunity to move out the way. You don't even have to be there.
That's my favorite way to move, is out the fucking way.
Bro, I wanted to show you this real quick.
That's fire.
Awesome. I love that.
This is the
That's the logo that I made, right?
Yeah, this is exactly it. And I got it in a banner, for the foundation. Just wanted to share that.
I love that.
Coach, that's exactly where the silent observation comes in. You just sometimes you don't have to say anything. You observe things and you're aware of what's going on and you move out the way. You know how many times
That's my favorite way to move.
You know how many times I've done that? I've in real time, I've had 2 situations on this app that I never spoke on this app. That happened in real time, and I never spoke about it. But my name was being rang everywhere else, and I never spoke about it once. You know what happened? It died out. Because I never spoke about it.
You're not feeding into it.
You know what I'm saying? My name was in every room. I was this person. I was that person. I do this to people. I do that to people. But you know what it did? It just brought people to my page, and people was like, "What the fuck are they talking about? He's not even this person."
Yeah, it actually.
And your character also outweighed your reputation. Well, the reputation they were trying to make of you. So
This is what I'm saying. In my book, I wrote a thank you to people like that. To all you people that act like that, I thank you. Because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be as good as I am. Seriously.
Listen, you cannot beat a dead horse.
That's it, bro.
You can't. It's impossible. Just leave it alone. Like I don't indulge in shit that I don't need to indulge in. And it bothers a lot of people that I don't do that because I'm not a person for gossip either. You're not gonna come to me to gossip about somebody because then I feel like you gossip about me when I'm not around. You're able to come to me and tell me something about somebody that I don't know, I know nothing about. I might do.
They're just
You do
setting
the
you
same
up.
thing to me. You have to do the same thing to me. No, I don't do that to you. We're cool. I don't believe that.
Bullshit.
They're just
I
testing.
truly,
Bullshit.
honestly don't believe that. If you have the ability to gossip about somebody to me, you have the ability to do that to me about me to somebody else. So I don't want to hear about the gossip.
If
That's
you
chaotic within itself.
listen. Here's the rule: if you condone it, you become it.
You have to be mindful of all of these things, and that's the difference between boundaries and always fighting battles. This is a part of breaking the chaos, guys. You have to be mindful of the things that you are partaking in or putting yourself in, environments that you're putting yourself in, spaces that you're putting yourself in, conversations that you don't belong in. Heavy on the conversations you don't belong in. It's okay to tell somebody, I don't want to hear the shit that's coming out your mouth because you talk too much. You don't have to say it like me. I say you talk too much, but you talk too much. You have too many people that will talk about things that are not positive, that are not conducive, that are not productive. It's always drama. It's always about a he said, she said. It's always about somebody else's business. Zulema, thank you. Welcome in. Good morning. I don't want to hear about nobody else's problems. What you got going on? How you doing? How's everything about you? How are you doing? What you got going on? What's your healing journey look like? What's your day look like? Was your day productive? Did you do something to change your day today? What did you learn about yourself today? Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to know about you. Because you have all this to say about everybody else, but you never talk about you. I don't understand. I'm confused.
So then here's another crack at balance, right? So which one are you? Are you the type to talk about everybody else? Or are you the type to talk too much about yourself? Either way, we're talkers, right? Some people don't talk at all. But the people that do express themselves, whatever it is that you're putting into the air, into the atmosphere, what are you putting into the atmosphere? Are you talking about yourself most of the time in your conversations? Are you aware to know what is the center of the conversation about? Other people, yourself, or is there a balance? Do you guys look to talk about other things except yourselves or other people? Sis, let me ask you a question. Tell me 2 or 3 things that you like to talk about, and then you do the same thing. Let me
Hold
show you
on.
something.
She,
Sis,
she, she got a whole bunch of stuff in her.
how about you? Tell me some of the things you like to talk about.
Me? Like,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah, just off the rip.
music.
Okay, you like to talk about music?
Yeah, video games.
Okay, video games. What else?
You know what I'm saying? I like to talk about mental health, obviously, because I don't just do this here. I actually have conversations about mental health and things that we can actually do to be better.
Okay,
Like productive conversations, people. Productive. As much as I do talk about, just like I rant about like TV shows and stuff like that. That's different, right? When I watch TV shows, things are intriguing, so I talk about that. But for me to go on this app, right, and go into a chaotic live, and then me to bring that chaos into my home or into my everyday and have a conversation about it, I will never do. And I stand 10 toes on that. I will never do it.
what else is there to talk about?
Why would I?
You're putting yourself in the line of fire.
I'm not doing it. You know why? You know why I'm not doing it? You know what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up going back into that life. Just so you can hear more. And next thing you know, 3-4 hours done pass by and you got not a motherfucking thing done throughout that day. Not a thing. Nothing that you had on your day to get done got done. You're welcome. You wasted your time. And it sounds ignorant. It sounds rude. I know it does. I'm well aware. of how I'm saying it and my tone. I'm well aware of my tone. I'm saying it like that for a reason because I need you guys to open up, to open your eyes and wake up. When you choose to indulge in something that you don't need to indulge in, all you're doing is wasting your time. That's it. That's all you're doing is wasting your time.
And that looks very simple. Being in places that you're not supposed to be. That's the shortest sentence that I could say.
You literally just wasted your time.
Look, physically, mentally, spiritually,
Welcome in.
intellectually, right?
Mm-hmm.
Medically, health-wise, there are places that we frequent that are destroying us.
I got you one better. You ready for this? And this is the hardest truth, and nobody can debate this. Not a person. Imagine wasting something that you can't get back. Imagine that. You can't get it back.
And guess what that sounds like? For the people that keep saying, I need a reset, 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 I need a reset. I'm like, you're gonna reset something you haven't even started yet.
Just like let's put that out there. Forget about everything that we said about this in this live today. Forget about everything that we've said today in this live, right? Forget about the 5 years of information that we've provided people, right? In the 5 years that we've been doing this, the one thing that you can't get back is the thing that you waste the most. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, be honest with yourself, right? We always talk about we want people to be honest, we want people to be true, we want people to be real. Be honest with yourself. I'm being as real with you as I possibly can. Ask yourself that question on an everyday basis where you say that you want to focus on something and you want to be better, you want to do better, you want to have things that are productive in your life. What are you doing with that time to do better and be better and change and actually motivate yourself to do better and have better? What are you doing with that time?
They press and rewind. Rewind.
Sitting there blaming everybody for your problems? Are you sitting there complaining about the things that you actually have to get done? Are you constantly being ignorant to your healing journey? Because I see more people being ignorant to their healing journey than actually healing.
Okay. That's what we're doing.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with it at this point.
Oh, Lordy, Lord.
We have too many people on this app and on in real time act like they're healing, but they're not. And then want to act like they're healing, but they're not.
They're using a puzzle.
I'm healing. I see the things that I'm doing, but your healing looks like you're repeating the same cycles over and over. You're rewriting the same dissertation and just changing one word. But never actually going through the things that you actually want to work on.
I hate you.
Like, what are we doing? We say that we have boundaries, but you're constantly fighting. And you're not fighting nobody but yourself. Imagine that. Because ain't nobody fighting with you. You're fighting yourself. You can't look at yourself in the mirror. You don't know what your reflection looks like. You create personas to make yourself feel good. But you're not healing. You're not working on yourself. You're not focusing on the things that you need to focus on. I gave the same conversations that I'm giving to you guys here with the people that I coached. What are you doing? I gave them the same energy. I gave them the same language. My language does not change. I do not change who I am just because I'm in front of a camera. This is the same energy that I gave. You don't believe me? Ask Son LT in the chat. I gave her the same energy. I didn't want to hear complaints. I want to know what you want to do. What do you want to do to be better? She gave me that. I gave her that. I gave her what she needed to be better. She worked on it. We came back, we had a conversation, she worked on it some more. She came back and told me the things that she worked on, and then she said, I'm gonna take a break so I can actually apply the stuff that I learned. Thank you, coach. I appreciate that. She came back after she did that, and then we started working on more things. When I felt like I didn't have anything else to give her, what did she do? She went and still started working on more things. And people are like, you're always using Lala. You're always, yes, because Lala is the definition of what a person that wants to work on themselves looks like. In real time, this is what that person looks like. And I give her the flowers that I give her because she deserves it. Period. It's just what it looks like. When somebody says that they actually want to work on themselves, they don't make excuses on what they want to work on. Is it easy? No. It's not supposed to be. None of it is. The healing journey is not easy. There's not a person that could tell you that their healing journey was easy. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to lie to your face like that. Nothing about it is easy. This shit's hard. But it's necessary. It's unapologetic. There's nothing about it that is easy. You make excuses for it and nothing changes. What are you going to change if you don't change yourself? How many more excuses are you willing to make in the same process over and over? Nothing changes, but you're making excuses about the same thing, about the same people, about the same environment, about the same things that you're struggling with, about the same story. Same story. The story never changes, by the way. I might add you, the story never changes. It's never a different story. It's always the same story in different words. We want to break the cycle of something. You have to be willing to put in the work. Stop making excuses on why you can't do it. Just do it. And if you need help, ask for help. Asking for help is not a weakness. There's nothing weak about it. Because we can't do it alone. I'm not going to say I did this shit. If anything, my viewers helped me heal. Let's put it that. I'm going to put it out there, right? Because within the 5 years I've been doing this, right, I was on my healing journey. Me and Hormika had that conversation the other day. The 5 years I've been doing this, I've been on my healing journey. I started my healing journey with this show. Most people don't even know that, right? They think I did it behind camera, behind the doors. I didn't. I did it in real time in front of you guys. I still went to therapy. I still got coaching. I still got mentoring in the process of doing all of that. I made no excuses on me wanting to be better. Did it hurt? Absolutely. Was it painful? Most definitely. Everything about it wasn't easy. I had many days that I've cried. I had many days where I wanted to punch a hole through a wall. I had many days where I doubted myself. I had plenty of those days, but I never stopped. I took a moment to breathe. I took a moment to relax so that way I can heal from the things that I was actually working on. I actually had to embody the tools that I actually learned so that way I can move forward to the next step. Most of you are not even past step one yet. Y'all keep repeating step one. Like, you're repeating the same step over and over. And mind you, every step has layers to it. So imagine having a step that has layers to it and you're not even passing step one yet. What's going on, Lala? They got me fired. They got me hot today.
I see. Good morning, y'all. Thank you for having me up. So I just want to give you, Ormega, and everybody in the community that has helped me along the way, your flowers. I don't believe that I could have done it without you. So I'm going to say that. And I'm also going to reiterate what Coach said. Everyone, it's not easy. We're human. And sometimes you're going to fall. But the thing is not sitting in it, is getting back up and moving forward. Sometimes those breaks are necessary, not necessarily to reset like y'all were
You
talking
lose.
about, but more to analyze how far have I come? What else do I need to do? So it's what you do in the moment, like Ormega said, during that reset, instead of just sitting there and dwelling in it.
Facts. Melissa, welcome in.
But that's all. I just want to give y'all your flowers. I
We
appreciate you so
appreciate that.
much. I
We
love you
appreciate that.
all,
We love you
the whole
too.
community. Um, I'm also going to say this. I'm still working. I'm not done. The healing journey is going to be for life. You have triggers that you have to manage. You have um, situations that you have to analyze and move through.
Thank you.
So I learn every day still from y'all. Thank you.
We appreciate you, and I always see you doing the work. And you're always asking questions, and you're always striving to be better, and that's the point. That's it. That's all it is. That's the point.
Yep, progress.
Like none of, and just like Coach said in the chat, the healing journey is never ending. There's always going to be something in life that causes your trigger to surface. There's always going to be something that that reminds you of your trauma, right? But if you don't have the tools to deal with it, if you don't have the tools to handle it and acknowledge it and suppress it when it needs to be suppressed, what are we doing?
Yeah, you definitely got to use the tools. You can't just say, okay, I got it. I'm good to go. Trust me, been there, done that. Don't work.
What did Homika say? Knowledge without applying it is just information.
Facts.
Like you gotta apply the stuff.
Somebody's paying attention.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta apply the stuff. I'm passionate about what I do, right? To the point where I haven't charged. I've only charged maybe 2 or 3 people for my coaching since I've been a coach. I've helped people for free, trying
Yes,
to
it
be better.
has.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want people to struggle. It's not. It doesn't feel good to struggle. It doesn't feel good to struggle with yourself. Forget about the world, right? The world itself is a struggle. The world itself is chaotic as fuck. But why would you want to live within your own chaos and struggle within your own everyday with yourself? Why would you want to wake up and not be able to identify who you are as a person?
Yes.
Imagine waking up every day and not being able to see who you are as a person. Like think about that. How painful that sounds to wake up every day to not be able to see yourself?
It's
To,
very painful.
to look in the mirror and not recognize the person that you're looking at when you look in the mirror? For everybody else around you to recognize who you are, but you can't even recognize yourself? What are we doing? What are we doing? I would love to know that. Because for some reason everybody else you can tell somebody everything else about their life, but when it comes to your life, you can't explain it the way that you're supposed to explain it. When it's time for you to go get help, to go to therapy, you're lying to your therapist. You're not even honest with yourself about what you're struggling with. You're not transparent with yourself about what you're struggling with. So when you actually go get help, you're not even giving them the information that's needed to actually help you.
So, can I say something?
Go for it.
What I said in the chat, the healing journey sounds good. It looks good until you actually sit down and have to do it.
Absolutely. Good morning,
And then
Cindy.
it's difficult and it's hard and it's depressing at times and it's no motivation, low confidence. And
Proud of you, coach.
it, like I said, it's how you react to it, like y'all were saying, how you react to things. How are you going to react to the difficult times, the depression, the whatever? How are you going to react to it? Like I said, you have to analyze it, move forward. Point blank, period.
You do. There's certain times where you have to analyze it and move forward, right? There's certain times where you have to actually sit with it, right? Because your therapist will tell you sit with your emotions so you can understand it. I'm not telling you guys to ignore your emotions. You have to sit with your emotions to understand it, so that way you can logically know how to handle it, right? That there's levels to all of this, guys. I promise you there is. You have to be mindful of all of it. That's why I say this journey is not easy, because being mindful of all of these things, there's many layers to this. That's why people quit their healing journey before they even start it, because they can't handle the levels to it. They're unable to. Like they're not able to handle that level. Like it's not an easy thing to do.
These are people that have problems planning. These are people that have problems with time management. These are people that have problems with steps, right? You touched on something earlier. You said that one day I said, what's knowledge without applying it is information. Now I'm going to give you a very uncomfortable analogy, right? When you have knowledge inside of your body, inside of your brain, it's like storing fat. You have knowledge obesity.
Knowledge obesity is wild.
I have a lot of knowledge, right? But I practice things. I have different conversations. You know what I'm saying? I try. You see me in different circles. I like sports. Remember I asked you earlier, what are other conversations that you have? You have to have other things. And when you are a researcher, here's another thing too. When you start getting into research and when you start learning, you need a place to put it for an outlet. You can't store it. You got to use it. You know, so you have to be able to position yourself to utilize the knowledge that you're learning. Otherwise, and at first it's going to be tough because you're going to say the wrong things to the wrong people at the wrong time. You're going to make a lot of mistakes, but that's where the grace comes in. That's what you remind yourself, hey, I'm wrong, but at least I'm wrong and I know it and I'm trying, as opposed to I'm wrong and I'm not going to do nothing about it. And that's the way it is. You're going to have to accept me and keep it moving.
I think one of the other things too, right? Because I know we spoke about, I spoke about a lot of shit. Just know that my energy. I promise you, my energy's in good spirits. I'm not in a bad space. I'm really not.
Was it the word crash out that did that to you or what?
I don't know. I think I had to show them what a crash out really looks like in real time. But but no, it was a crash out with intention, right? It was a crash out with intention. It was to show you guys how important the healing journey is, right? When it comes to breaking that chaos, because we all deal with chaos. Just like Hormiga said, it's very possible that a lot of us here are dealing with multiple variations of what chaos looks like. Right? But how can you recognize it if you're not choosing to work on yourself?
So there's different versions of chaos. It's not just one chaos you're going through. How about if there's a difference between a chaotic episode and being a chaotic person as part of your personality, as part of your character? You know, is your character chaotic? Is your personality chaotic? Are you a target for chaos? Do you put yourself in the position to see, absorb, and evaluate too much chaos?
Intentional. External. Like this, like you guys had to be here for the beginning of this series to understand where we are. If you wasn't here in the beginning of this series, it's kind of hard to jump in here on the third, fourth live that we're doing about this.
Unless you've done the work.
Unless you've done the work, you understand where we are, or you've been here since we started the series 4 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Intentional. External. Internal. Inherited. Chaos. There's more variations to chaos, but those are the 4 that I wanted to focus on because it's important, right?
I hope, I
Are
hope
you
they, I
are
hope
you
they,
the
I
cause
hope,
of your own chaos?
I hope they heard that. I hope they heard him correct himself in the mid sentence where he said, "There's more versions of that." Those are just the 4 that he wanted to talk about. I had to say it again because I could hear people right now hearing you say that and making it their own.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm very mindful of my words, people. I'm very mindful of my words, my tone, and the way that I'm speaking to you guys right now. I promise you I'm mindful of it. This is not me just reacting. This is me responding to the shit that I see on an everyday basis. Okay? This is the things that I see, this is the conversations I see people having, and then people crash out. They're not focused on themselves the way that they're supposed to focus on themselves. They're more worried about somebody else's problems and somebody else's life and the things that somebody else is doing that they don't agree with, but yet they can't be honest with themselves to sit with themselves long enough to be like, I don't agree with my whole life. I don't agree with the fact that I can't see myself. I don't agree with the fact that every time I have a conversation, I get triggered, or I feel like I'm being judged, or I feel like I'm being attacked. Imagine that.
Learn to sit long enough in your honesty.
Mind you, this is a general thing. This is not an attack on anybody. If you feel attacked, take a lap.
If you feel attacked, take a lap.
If you feel attacked, take a lap. This is not an attack on anybody. This is just what it is.
Or 2 laps. Or 2 laps.
Or 2 or 3. Run a couple miles if you gotta run a mile.
You might have to join a marathon.
Right? I'm just saying, but we have to stop ignoring shit, right? I post a lot of positive stuff on my page. If you've been on my page, if you've been down my page, some stuff is mine, some stuff is other videos that I found very profound that I felt like I needed to share with people. So you're gonna find a very mixed version of what my page looks like, but it's all in the same aspect of wanting to be better and choosing to be better and wanting you guys to be better for yourself. I can't force anybody to be better for themselves. I can give you the information, I can give you the tools, I can give you the guidance, I can give you the positive affirmations, the motivations, and all the good stuff, right? But I can't force you to be better or force you to start that journey or force you to come to me for coaching or force you to go to therapy. I can't do none of that. That's something that you have to want for yourself.
Facts. Like I said many times, you got to want it. You got to want it so bad that that's the only thing you're concentrating on in order to progress productively.
Right there. Take what both of the things that they said. Now go back to where we said
Facts, coach.
remove the emotions. There's different steps and phases in your healing process where you have to learn to remove your emotions altogether so you can feel what it looks like. Nobody has said remove your emotions forever. That is not logical. Listen to what I just said. Removing your emotions forever is not logical, right? They say that the opposite of emotions is logic, right? So it's not logical because we must sit in, we have to learn how to sit in our emotions before we do that, because otherwise it creates a circle, a downward spiral. So we have, there's certain skills that we must learn before we soak, before we do the next step. And you have to do it in order sometimes, not everything. Sometimes you have to tweak it to fit you, but learn all the components first before you start deciding, I'm going to do step 5 before I do step 1. What's wrong with you?
Hey, you know me, I always say baby steps. And I don't care what, anybody thinks. If I'm not progressing fast enough, I'm going to take baby steps.
It's not
Because
above, and it's not
that's
above what they think.
But listen
That's
to
right.
now add what he said. He said they don't sit long enough to see it. They don't sit long enough to see it. They don't sit long enough for it to be effective.
Yep.
So that is part of the process. It's like taking an ice cold plunge bath. You need to sit in it for it to be effective, but you're not gonna come out of nowhere and say, I could sit in an ice bucket for 3 minutes. The hell you not.
Okay.
So
I
you're
want to
gonna
see.
jump in there for 5 seconds and you're gonna jump out of there, you understand, or 10 seconds or whatever the case may be. But the point is, in order for it to be effective, you have to be in it for a certain amount of time, and you're not going to break the record the first time that you sit down.
So, real quick, right? So, if you guys haven't grabbed this book yet, it's called The Mirror Labyrinth. Yes, I am the author of this book. There was a conversation I had with both Hormiga and Riz about taking the gloves off moving forward when we come to doing these shows. Because for the longest time, we I'll be honest, we coddled you guys. We carried you guys with kid gloves. We didn't even give you guys solutions to the things that we spoke about. And that's our fault, right? We should have from the beginning started giving you guys solutions when we have these tough conversations. So moving forward, we said we're not going to do this anymore. We're going to give them the tough love that they need, and then we are going to move forward with giving them solutions to how they need to fix things and how to work on them. So the Mirror Labyrinth is available on Amazon, everybody. So you guys go right on Amazon, type in the Mirror Labyrinth, and you'll be able to find it. I believe my book, or there was like two other books that have the Mirror Labyrinth attached to it on Amazon, but I think mine is the most unique. They literally look like a labyrinth of mirrors, so you'll be able to recognize the book. So the reason why we've been having this conversation of chaos, not only to bring you guys knowledge, right, but because my next book is called The Hidden Source of a Chaotic Mind. That's my next book. That's the book that I'm working on to release April of next year. We're going to be releasing that on the 5th anniversary of Monumental. There's a method to my madness. I promise you. I did it with the Mirror Labyrinth. Before I released the Mirror Labyrinth, I had a plethora of lives that I did pertaining to actually writing this book out. I did the same thing with Monumental when I wrote Monumental. I had a plethora of lives that I did about Monumental before I actually wrote the book and released it. So if you're here long enough, you'll catch like what I'm doing in real time. So the book itself will be releasing on April 13th, 2026. Okay? I'm already working on putting the book together. I'm working on getting the information in there that needs to be in there for you guys. It is not going to be a cookie cutter book. It is not going to be a sugar coated book. There's not going to be none of the, you know what I'm saying? So the name of the book, I will write it in the chat for you. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Somebody's asking about the name of the book.
I want to know who noticed the disco ball in my lounge room.
Oh, that was sis. That was your sis.
Oh, Sweetie did, and then I was not
She
surprised.
noticed it immediately. She noticed it immediately. She wasn't the only one either. There was a few people in there that noticed it.
You know what's funny? You said that words matter earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we looked up the word crash out, and I think it influenced you a little bit when you said the word algorithm, right? When you said the word algorithm about an hour ago, just you saying that word triggered me to start picking things up and stop talking shit and thinking about it. I got to do a show. You know what, bro? I'm gonna do the show, and I'm going to. I did that as an experiment. I bet you that people watching me moving around influenced them to move around as well.
True.
You inspired me.
And I hope the passion of how I put this out here today lit a fire under your asses.
Uh-oh.
Because when I'm telling you, you're gonna get left behind in this healing journey, we're gonna get left behind. Right? There's no time frame on when the journey ends because there's no ending to the journey. But you need to start somewhere. We're not getting any younger. None of us are. Time waits for nobody.
Look at it at the school that you should have went to. Look at it at the school that you wasn't accepted to. Look at it as the school that you rejected. Look at it at the school that you get every reason on earth not to go through. I don't want to go to school because this is school. Healing is school. Healing is learning. Healing is research. Healing is practice. These are all things that we should have learned while we were going to school. And we get mad because we're like, now we're in our 30s, now we're in our 40s, some of us are in our 50s. And we're like, man, when the hell am I going to get my shit together? I don't know. When you stop resisting school.
Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Right, coach. Life is school.
But it's a school that we should never stop schooling.
Think about life as a campus. Okay? Think about it as a campus. Think about it as like the biggest campus one of the biggest campuses in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like UConn, Alabama State. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about it as the biggest, one of the biggest campuses you could possibly think of.
You want to go Michigan?
Right? We can do Michigan. Shit, I'll even give you URI, University of Rhode Island. Fucking campus is huge. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about these campuses, right? I got you one better. Think about these campuses as layers of your life. Right? They all got locks on it. You can't open them doors, right? But the one door that's open, you know what's sitting on the wall, written on the wall? Accountability. Accountability. The one door that you can open, the only door that's unlocked that you can actually go through. Every other door is locked. You can't break through it. You can't penetrate the lock that's on there. But the one door that's actually open, that you actually walk through, and the first thing that you see on the wall when you open them doors is accountability.
Run for the hills.
Are you gonna run from it, or are you gonna run towards it?
The thing is that why does that word seem so heavy to people?
Because there's so
Once
many.
they have to face themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, but just forget about what comes after. Just the word itself. They look at it like if the word is the enemy. Like this is like little kids. Like, oh man, not that again. I gotta be.
It is the enemy.
Because it's too hard, Armika. It's too hard.
Yeah, but think about this. I gotta be accountable again, Lala.
And again and again.
Wait a minute. When do I stop becoming accountable? The answer is never.
Hello. Hi, guys.
When does this accountability stop? When you be responsible to avoid the shit that you don't want to apply or be apologetic for or feel obligated to do because you're not doing it on your own, and somebody comes and tells you something that you're not telling yourself. That was the only curse I'm gonna say.
Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for
5 minutes. 5 minutes left in the show, and I cursed 5 minutes.
Go ahead. And I have something.
You had it. I think you're feeding off my energy right now.
I am not.
I think you are. I think you are. I think
you're triggering me. No, but when you said the word algorithm before, I wanted to dance. That's the word that got me. That word algorithm got me to organize my chill place because it was driving me crazy because it was unorganized. And I'm trying to show people what it looks like in real time when we fight these things, these urges, or we make excuses to do what we're supposed to do. Do the things that you're supposed to do to avoid the chaos later. We're the ones that are putting ourselves in the position to feel chaos.
I got, you found the book? Lovely. If you guys have any questions about what's in the book, please message me. Don't feel to message me. I will give you whatever guidance that you need because this book is a very heavy book. It's not an easy book to go through. I promise you it's not. All right. I have a question for you guys. We have 4 minutes left. And I wanna trigger you guys a little bit. Look at this. So the author's name is Emmanuel Pierre. Hi, my name is Emmanuel Pierre. How you doing? So Emmanuel Pierre, spelled Emmanuel, Last name is spelled Pierre. You can try to use my name for whatever you want to use my name for. I promise you, I got back credit. Good luck with that. Anyway, carry on. Don't try to use my name for anything else but what it's for. Look for my books. Question for you guys. If peace was your new normal, ready? If peace was your new normal, what part of your life would feel most different? And this is for the people that struggle with chaos the most. But anybody can answer it, right? So just make sure so write that down because I want you guys to really dive into that, right? And if you guys are content creators and you guys post videos and stuff on your page, post a video being transparent about that. I think that would be dope because I think that would create a nice dialogue. If peace was your new normal, what part of your life would feel most different?
You're just trying to get me to make a video.
Maybe. Possibly. Possibly. The quietness is the main thing. Yeah. I mean, I think chaos has created so much noise in a lot of people's lives, right? That quiet is dangerous to them.
I want people. I want to help people recognize their chaos. I want people to. I'm also going to ask a question.
Good.
To try to can people honestly express or tell me what their chaos is? Like, what does people's chaos look like? Because for some people it's loud. For some people it's you feel it in your body.
Okay, I'll add on.
Sick, you know what I'm saying?
I'll add on to that question, right? On top of the question that he asked, right? Because like I said, we don't eliminate the emotion. What emotion are you feeling in the midst of your chaos?
Whatever it is that you can explain.
Whatever it is, no judgment.
Yeah, whatever it is that you feel, what does chaos, like in other words, because are you used to your chaos? Have you brushed it to the side? Have you accepted your chaos? Do you think that you're healthy with this chaos? Is it necessary? Have you become attached to it?
I like these answers.
Yeah,
I like
these are real answers.
Say that again.
These are real answers.
I think you should post that. Sorry, Amiga, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I think I am. I think I'm gonna make a video about that with those questions.
Let people do it.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do that. I think that'd be a dope thing to do.
Look at what she said. Like I'm solving nothing.
Like I'm soft.
Wow. I mean, combine what people say. Let's give them some shout outs. Okay, like I'm solving nothing, anxiety, anger, stress, loneliness. Hey.
So Steph said loneliness. Coach Mel said stress. Lou said anger. Coach Chris said anxiety.
I agree on stress.
She said feel like I'm solving nothing.
Right, that's huge.
Any control.
You're getting nowhere fast. Does it feel like you're on a mental treadmill?
Okay. We're gonna go a little bit past 12 o'clock, right? Because I like this conversation right now. I have another question for you guys. Now that you guys are being transparent in regards to where you are, let's kind of peel back the layers a little bit, right? While we're here, do you feel like it's your chaos or somebody else's? Do you feel like the chaos that the emotions that you're feeling towards that chaos, is it intentional? Is it something that you feel like you created, or is it feel like that it's inherited? Do you feel like it's external? Do you feel like it's internal? Like where on the rabbit hole of the four chaos that we spoke about are you under?
Both external.
Chris said inherited. So who said mine's in my head based on reaction.
And let me give you a hint. Whoever's been here for the last couple of weeks, we talked about how we have different types of stress in us. We have inherited DNA, being in your mother's stomach, environmental,
Yes.
inner, outer, experience, culture, parenting, indoctrinations of the schools. And we're not talking about just people that come from impoverished neighborhoods. We're not just
Yeah,
talking
we're
about,
talking about overall, right?
in life. Let's have a conversation where we don't identify the wrong things with this, because this is a human being thing.
Right. So like we stated, think of life as a university, right? There's different hallways, there's different walks of life, there's different situations. You're meeting new people, you're engaging in new things, you're experiencing life, you're experiencing all these things, right? It's very easy to embrace and embody somebody else's chaos. Sometimes your chaos, the chaos that you're struggling with, may not be yours. And if it's not your chaos you're struggling with, newsflash, you're an empath. You're welcome.
Yep.
Don't hit them like that.
I just,
It's
I
true.
just gotta, I just gotta be straight with it, right? If it's not your chaos that you're dealing with, it's either inherited by something that you dealt with in your family, with your family overall, right? That's inherited, right? It can also be the traumas and triggers of mom, because we spoke about that, right? We spoke about when mom is pregnant.
Sounds logical to me.
When mom is pregnant, right? Her chaos.
We're living in her chaos.
We're literally living in mom's chaos in her stomach,
We're growing and developing in
in her chaos in real time. A lot of people don't think about that aspect. I know we don't, but we have to, right? What was mom's life like when you was in her stomach?
What was your life like when you gave birth?
Right?
Where were you? Because in the male also, the male implants the seed, and that seed could be tainted with chaos.
Yes. And not just mom's chaos, but just the overall chaos in the household. It could be the chaos that dad brings. It could be the chaos that family brings inside your space while you're pregnant. It could be so many different layers. It's not just mom.
You don't think that a fetus or a baby that's growing can't hear things outside of that womb? Are you
Well,
serious?
of course they can. I used to play audiobooks for my children when I was carrying them.
If they can hear if they can hear their dad's whispers, they can hear their mom and their dad screaming. Newsflash.
Yeah.
If they can hear their dad or their mom singing, they can hear screaming. Because just because you go to another room doesn't mean that you're not taking the baby with you.
So let me ask this question to everybody here. Show of hands, who's coming to the next show? If you're for not next Saturday, the Saturday after, 2 weeks. Who's coming to the next show? Because the next show is like the last part of this series. So everybody that's currently here, if we're in this conversation right now, I feel like you should be here. So it starts at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It starts at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's gonna be. I was gonna do it on. Technically, today was supposed to be the last day for this, but because we did 2 parts to the triggers, we have to extend it.
We'll wrap it up, and we'll make some.
So it's gonna be on October 11th. It's gonna be on. I'm gonna create a live event for you guys while we're doing our closing, so that way we have the live event up and running. But the reason why I asked you guys this is because the last part of this is called "Peace Isn't Boring, It's Power." So I'm gonna work on putting this stuff on YouTube, guys. I haven't had the chance. I haven't had the chance to really put that together. I'm working on it. Because I still got to do edits. I still got to do thumbnails and all that stuff and the fun stuff. But the title is "Peace Isn't Boring, It's Power." So that's Living Beyond the Chaos. October 11th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Key points that we're going to be talking about: redefining peace as strength, not weakness; building inner stillness and grounding practices; the strength of letting go and trusting, and how a mind at rest transforms life. So while you guys are kind of diving into, I want you guys to do some homework for yourself, right? Not just for me, because I do want to hear perspectives. I love to hear everybody's perspectives, but do some homework on what your chaos looks like, right? Use the internet, use ChatGPT, however you want to do it, right? Do some homework on what your chaos is for your life, so that way you have a better understanding of it. Because if you understand it better, you know how to navigate through it. If you understand it better, just don't allow it to just live and you not understand it. If you want to learn how to defeat something, you have to learn about it. You have to learn its mechanisms. You have to learn its patterns. You have to dive into it. So I challenge you guys. This is a challenge, not a test. I appreciate you, Lala. I challenge you guys to dive into the chaos of your life. Right? Is it going to be easy? No. You might dive into something that you're not ready to dive into. And if you don't feel like you're ready to dive into it, just don't do it. We're not telling you to do something that's going to be detrimental. I just want you guys to have a better understanding of what you're struggling with. You guys put a lot in the chat today. The people that were here since the beginning, you guys put a lot in the chat. The people that just came in and answered that question, you guys put a lot in the chat. I want you guys to challenge yourselves to think about these things, right? So that way you can better understand how to navigate your life in regards to the chaos. Because if you learn how to navigate it, then you can better push forward into the next step of your life, into the next step of your journey. But if you don't know how to operate the chaos, you're just going to stay stagnant. And we're just going to keep repeating the same cycles. And it becomes a habit. I'm just saying. I got nothing else to give you guys. I think I gave you guys a lot. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I gave you guys a lot today.
You think so?
I think so. So I don't know if he has anything that he wants to close with, but I don't have no other words for you guys.
I just want to say something simple, which is every information is important. It just doesn't necessarily mean that it's not important at that moment, you know? So take everything that you hear with a grain of salt, and let's emphasize on the things that are bothering you. Try to look for the things that are bothering you. Work on the things that are bothering you. Try to understand why they're bothering you. You get a chance to get to know yourself a little better by paying attention to your personality, your character, and your behavior, which I'll be talking about this Monday at 7:30. That's going to be the topic. Behavior versus personality versus character. And then we're going to talk about honesty and integrity. You're not going to like what you're going to hear, but I'm about to, because of this live, I'm about to, yeah.
Want to take the gloves off a little bit?
Yeah, nah, I'm going to go all the way on Monday, and I'm going to just allow people to see me in a different place where I like to be neutral. I'm not going to favor either side. I'm just going to give you the information, you do with it. But the truth is that most people don't know the difference between behavior, personality, and character, and integrity and honesty. So we're gonna talk about it Monday.
Okay, fair enough. So, guys, go grab my book, man. Just grab my book. Like I promise you, you won't be disappointed with the information that's in there. You won't be disappointed. I promise you.
I have some good stuff in there.
You guys know that if you guys are here, you guys know that we focus on self. This literally is a definition of focusing on self in all aspects you could possibly think of, right? It's uncomfortable truth. So the name of the book is The Mirror Labyrinth. I'll send you a message, Coach. I'll send you a message, and then I'll so that way you can grab it. So, and then make sure you guys follow my author page. I have the link to my author page in my bio. I know we're not supposed to say that word on here, but I don't care at this point. Right on my bio, I have my author page for Amazon. So you go follow my author page. You can go check out all the books that I have. I don't only write mental health books. I also write novels as well. So check out the novels if you like the novels. If you like horror novels and thrillers and mysteries, I got a few of those that's in there. Some of them are mental health based as well, which is why I layered the mental health aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you guys, yeah, absolutely. Just make sure you guys check out the link. I think the link should still be up there for my Amazon link, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. Yep, it is up here. I'll even show it to you guys real quick before we get off of here. How do I flip the camera? I don't know how to do this. They don't switch everything. Oh, wait. There we go. Okay. So if you guys go to my TikTok, if you see right here where it shows the Amazon link right on my bio, once you click on it, it'll take you straight to my page for all of my books on Amazon. So there's quite a few of them in there. So go ahead and take a look. These are like the Kindles, but I also have the hardcovers and the paperbacks as well for a lot of my books. So go check them out. You know what I'm saying? Check them out. Leave a review once you finish reading it. Reviews help a lot. Bring me in the algorithm of Amazon. I just want you guys to overall just do better for yourself. That's it. I love you guys. I really do. I want you guys to be better. I really do. And it's all with love and positivity. I promise you. In a world full of negativity, make sure y'all choose love and love on purpose. Keep life simple. Love is the glue. Respect is the flavor. Maybe. She said we will get an audible. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know yet. I'm going to have to work on that. Me and Hormiga will talk about that because he might know people that can do it for me. But in a world full of negativity, make sure y'all choose love and love on purpose. Keep life simple. Love is the glue. Respect is the flavor. You dig. Make sure y'all live within your value energy. And I pity the fool who doesn't mind their mental. Peace.